Yesterday I saw The Irishman on the big screen. I found a cinema about a 10-minute train ride from me that was showing it, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity because it's a Martin Scorsese gangster film starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci and Al Pacino. It's just right for the big screen, and I'm so glad that I saw this film in the cinema and not just on Netflix because it is a marvelous film. But it wasn't the kind of gangster film that I was expecting. In fact, I wouldn't really call The Irishman a full-on gangster film in the sense of gangsters sitting in clubs and talking about how we're gonna screw over Tony and all that cool gangster stuff. I found this to be more of a political drama with Frank Sheeran, Robert De Niro's character, and Jimmy Hoffa thinking about how they're going to screw over the competition or how they're going to get out of certain things that are going on with Jimmy Hoffa's whole campaigns. And it does have gangster elements in it, absolutely, but to me it felt more like a political drama than a full-fledged gangster film. And I was thinking about this after seeing the film yesterday and comparing it to Goodfellas. And I was thinking that if you love Goodfellas, I'm not sure how you're going to react to The Irishman because even though they're both in the same genre technically, they're two very different kind of films. Goodfellas is a very fast-paced, very energetic, very stylish gangster film that's hard-hitting at times. And from Ray Liotta's character's perspective, it kind of glamorizes the gangster life and shows how gangster life is really cool and awesome from his perspective. The Irishman really is the complete opposite of that. It's a very slow-paced film, very calculatedly paced. It's 3.5 hours long, it takes its time telling the story, but most of all it does not glamorize the gangster life one bit. In fact, it's a brilliant study of how somebody living this kind of life can pretty much ruin the lives of everything around them and how living this kind of life can take its toll on you emotionally. And that's where the third act of this film came in and really made the film for me. The first two acts of the film were really good. I was really into the story, it was interesting, it was engrossing, I liked the political intrigue of the film. But the third act took it to a different level because it took it to an unexpected emotional level. And it's where the feelings of sadness and regret start to come in, and it touches on the themes of morality and living with the decisions that you've made in your life. It took the film to that unexpected emotional level, and the last 30 minutes of this film, my eyes were just glued to the screen and I couldn't take them off because of just the feelings that it was evoking inside of me. And I just wasn't expecting that from a Martin Scorsese gangster film. It is quite possibly Martin Scorsese's most compelling film, definitely his most thoughtful film that I've seen. And it's just so good because we've seen other gangster films and other films that Martin Scorsese has made about people living bad lives, but it doesn't really show the emotional consequences of them living those bad lives. This is the first film of his that I can recall and that I've seen that really does that, and it surprised the hell out of me. I've seen some critics say that it's kind of Martin Scorsese reflecting on his own career as a director, and I can definitely see that because, again, it's kind of like he's catching up to himself and, showing the emotional sides of his characters for once. And it just really, really impressed me. The biggest question mark going into this film for me was the DH CGI. At first, it did look quite plasticky and a bit distracting. But I found as the more the film went on, the more I kind of got used to it, even though there were some scenes where it does look very noticeable. That I'd say is probably my major flaw with the film, is the DH CGI still doesn't look up to scratch because they just haven't figured out how to make it look seamless yet. But apart from that, this film was just thoroughly impressive. I'm not quite ready to give it a 5 out of 5 yet because I still need it to simmer a little bit, I need it to resonate, but it is one of those films where the more I think about it, the last third especially, the more it's resonating with me and the more the emotion just sticks with you. And again, I just was not expecting that from a Martin Scorsese gangster film. I'm so happy that I got to see this film on a big screen and not just on a little TV on Netflix. If you can see it in a cinema, I highly recommend it because it's completely worth it. I'm going to give The Irishman a 4.5 out of 5. Thanks very much for watching as always, guys. Have you seen The Irishman yet? Did you see it on a big screen? Did you find it worth it? Or are you just going to wait for it to come onto Netflix? Whenever you get a chance to see it, let me know your thoughts down there. And if you want to see more of my stuff, be sure to subscribe and I'll see you all next time.